folks. He's a limousine-riding, jet-flying, podcast-making, French toast bacon son of a gun. He was bred in old Kentucky, but he's just a crumb up here. The great Brian Last.
Aloha, Jim. A pleasure to be here once again. Bred in Kentucky. Where did that come from?
You've never seen that Three Stooges short? They're the waiters at the Swank Society. But before the food fight starts, he was bred in, that's one of the toasts. He was bred in old Kentucky, but he's just a crumb up here.
Which version of the Three Stooges do you like best?
Oh, come on.
There are people who love Shemp.
Shemp was a talent. And Shemp, the only one.
The hair flying around.
The hair flying. He was the only one that forged his own path as a single actor. You see him in countless parts in motion pictures. He was the only one that forged his own path, but yet Curly is the classic third stooge. And don't even get me started about Joe Besser or Joe DeRita.
Hey, Curly Joe, do not even put him in the same category as Joe Besser.
No.
Joe Besser, those are unwatchable, those shorts. Because they lose all the slapstick. Curly
Joe was the Three Stooges comedy film equivalent of fake Razor and Diesel. It was offensive.
I find him less offensive than Joe Besser.
Well, actually, because Joe Besser wasn't even, at least Curly Joe DeRita tried to be part of the group, I guess. He did try to blend in, but Joe Besser was just doing his own fucking the baby crying when he was 60. It just didn't work. It was pathetic. It was, dare I say, Jericho-vid-like.
Did you ever see the documentary? I think it was called Hey Mo, Hey Dad. And it's by Mo Howard's son. And it's like all the home movies of the Stooges and the entire Stooge story from beginning to end.
I never saw it. I never heard about it. I never even glimpsed an advertisement for it. What Mo can I say?
It was on TV. It was on maybe Antenna TV a few years back. And I DVR'd it and I had it. And then someone in this house erased it. And I'm still pissed about it. It was phenomenal, though. It was
someone that shall not be named on this broadcast.
I have people I think did it, but I can't prove anything.
Oh, so you haven't narrowed it down yet, and you're casting a side eye to everybody, man, woman, and child.
I don't know. All of a sudden, there was a bunch of Disney crap on the DVR.
Uh-oh.
So it could have been the kids. I really don't know. But this documentary was phenomenal. It even had like some of the local television appearances, like on the little kid shows of the Stooges with Curly Joe. It was really cool. Really, really good stuff. Hey, Mo, hey, Dad.
It's good shit, pal. I had some good shit this week. Did you know that if you eat an abundance of cake icing featuring blue food coloring that your shit will turn bright forest green?
Funny enough, this past week, we got bagels for the kids, and the local bagel place started doing these rainbow bagels where they dye the dough. And we gave the baby one of the rainbow bagels. And the shit was...
And the baby gave you back some rainbow diapers.
Yeah, psychedelic shit. I've never seen anything like it before, but please go on.
Well, I will continue, thank you, as we're talking about different creative, festive ways, actually, ladies and gentlemen, that you can introduce food coloring to your diet and decorate your entire bathroom. No, I had the cake. The birthday dinner was the big ribeye steaks and the fried scallops with the remoulade and the baked taters and the cake. I not only got a big cake, but I also got a big nanner pudding. One of the Patti LaBelle nanner puddings. I don't know that she baked it physically with her own hands. I don't even know that it comes from her or a family member's recipe, but if she stamped her name on the top of that nanner pudding, it's good stuff. And I had some of that too. I enjoyed my birthday. I want to thank everybody for Patti LaBelle. She's got a brand of nanner pudding.
Is that marmalade in there?
No, that was in her previous. She was once a French hooker, I guess, but then she became, and I mean, at least she's a real person. Not like, what I used to get mad at on the advertising, to be honest, is the Popeyes commercials where the nondescript black lady that was never given a specific name even was standing up there saying, "I make my Popeyes chicken." No, you fucking don't. You're not Popeye. You don't look anything like Popeye. And as a matter of fact, nobody's ever said that you had anything to do with this Popeyes chicken recipe. What you are is you are an actress cast to play a part because people think that black women that don't even sound like they're from Louisiana know how to cook chicken. So that was racist right there. But Patti LaBelle is a real person who grew up in the South and would probably know about nanner pudding.
I'm so bad I eat Popeye.
I just and there you go. And sooner or later, Mad Dog Boyd will come back and have his own brand of chicken and nanner pudding. Because he ate Popeye, so he was really bad.
What the hell's nanner pudding?
You mean to tell me that when you were a little boy, your mother never made you any nanner pudding?
I mean, I had pudding.
Your grandmother, my Aunt Lola, loved to make nanner pudding. My mother made a great nanner pudding.
I can't tell. Are you saying that it's made by a nana or that the actual name of the pudding is nanner pudding?
Banana pudding, you idiot.
Banana. I had no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Nanner pudding. That's what your aunt or your grandmother would make you, some nanner pudding. I'll make you some nanner pudding if you're a good boy.
You mean baby food?
No.
I mean, there's vanilla pudding and chocolate pudding. I've never had banana pudding.
You have never, what? Oh, now.
Never.
Stop the presses. This is going out on YouTube. You mean to tell me that you have never stuck a big old spoon in a big old bowl full of homemade nanner pudding and shoved it in your gullet and swallowed it down your fucking pie hole and reveled in the goodness of same?
I'm going to actually tell you something I now find it humorous. Suzanne loves it. She gets such a kick out of it. She can't believe it's true. I went like 30-something years without eating bananas. Because when I was a kid, at some point I saw, I think it was Friday the 13th, part 4.
Oh, good Lord.
And the campers are driving to Camp Crystal Lake, and there's this person on the side of the road eating a banana, and Jason comes up behind her and like stabs her in the neck, and the banana just gets all like squished in her mouth, and she dies. And I said, you know what? That looks so disgusting. I don't think I ever want to eat these things ever again.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
Now, wait. I can understand if you ate something as a child and it made you horribly ill. I had the Nestle's Quick projectile vomiting for me when I was 6, and that's been it for chocolate milk, right? But because you saw it in a movie that a fictional character, oh, for heaven. Banana pudding doesn't even have whole bananas in it, you idiot. You
I don't know that. What are you idiots? What is this? What are you, one of the Stooges?
It's banana. Yes, you
what are you,
idiot.
Mo Howard?
Well, let me tell you something sweetly. I'll tell you right now, it's pudding. It's banana flavored pudding, but it's got the vanilla wafers in it, and it's got. Some people make it with meringue on top. Some people make it at it's in some cultures, I understand, called icebox pudding or something. But you have the bananas chopped up in it, but also the pudding and the goodness and the vanilla wafers and the whipped cream or the meringue or whatever on top, and you take it with a spoon, and you take some cinnamon and you sprinkle that all over the top of it, and that just tickles your taint right there. And if you're going to eat a pudding of any description, banana pudding would be the first one that I would think that anyone would eat. Chocolate pudding, now that looks like something you'd get out of a fucking baby's diaper. Dirty nappy pudding, they ought to call it over in the UK.
So a couple of years ago, on Facebook, one of my friends who works for the UN, he just randomly tweeted, or not tweeted, it's on Facebook. He randomly posted, bananas are the healthiest thing you could eat. Bananas contain enough potassium to bring someone back from near death. And it was all these health things about bananas. And I said, you know what? That sounds all right. I'm going to go get some bananas.
Oh, God.
And I've been eating them ever since.
But you've still never eaten any banana pudding.
No, does anyone else call it nanner pudding, or is it just you?
Everybody south of the Mason-Dixon line would call it nanner pudding. But again, so now you're just eating just plain old, bland old bananas.
They taste
for health reasons.
Yes.
Instead of eating all the sugary goodness and the creamy goodness and the just goodness of nanner pudding.
So your problem is the nutrition?
Yes. It's like that time I was talking to you. You said I'm just eating some, what was it, homemade granola?
Well, it wasn't homemade. It happened to be granola, of course.
It was you said it was homemade granola baked in the oven.
It may have been. Suzanne was making granola for a while. I wish she would start doing that again.
So you were just taking just old things that cows graze on that you've put on a cookie sheet and baked in the oven, and you're just taking handfuls of them and just stuff them in your face, but you won't eat banana pudding.
Let's not forget for 1 second, Mr. Jim Cornette.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy who won't eat an ice cream cone because your hand is touching the cone and your hand is dirty, yet you have no problem eating a cheeseburger with a bun that you're touching.
Well, no. See, you've misrepresented this whole thing.
How so?
Because if you're eating a cheeseburger, that means you've sat down to fucking eat something, and that means you should wash your hands. Boom. But when you're fucking a kid, and you're not fucking a kid, but when you're a fucking kid, I mean, that's separate activities, I guess. So in this case, when you're a fucking kid and you're getting an ice cream cone in the summertime, you've been running around swinging off trees and shit. And then you're grabbing this cone with your hand. You got your dirty hand all over it. And also, the cone to me was bland and tasteless. It tastes like chewing on roofing tile. It was the receptacle in which the ice cream was delivered to your face. Not a part of the food experience, for heaven's sake. So don't misrepresent my ice cream cone situation.
I represented it exactly how it was.
I was trying to tell people that I really appreciated all the birthday wishes. I was actually also going to take some heat off of you and explain that this show is even a day later than we had scheduled it to be, because I was enjoying my partial off time. I can't take a whole day off. I got to be busy. But I took most of my birthday off, still did some chores around the house. The day after my birthday, I did not watch any bad wrestling, but I did complete pretty much everybody's orders to Cornette's Collectibles. We'll talk about that later. Got some yard work done. The weather was beautiful. Got some fence row weed whacked and trees, branches trimmed and stuff hauled. And I got away from recording a little while because I know people on Twitter have been complaining, but how can they miss me if I won't go away? And I enjoyed it so much that I increased it to Saturday also, from Thursday and Friday. I had a 3-day party, and I went back out in the yard because the weather was beautiful here. So it was my fault we're late, but I was wringing my brain out because, as the big cat many times has said, your brain is like a sponge, and when it absorbs all the knowledge that it can, you must stop and wring it out.
Yes, Suzanne was wondering what was going on with our schedule, and I told her, I said, you know that feeling you get when you come back from vacation and you don't want to go back to work? I said, Jim does not want to come back from vacation right now.
I didn't want even on vacation. I was just not watching or talking about wrestling for 3 days, and I was out in the yard with all of my friends, the chipmunks and the squirrels and the possums and the raccoons and the deer. I fed the deer on Friday night, and 4 of them came and had a nice little buffet and romped around in the backyard at dusk. So that was nice. But I also want to thank everyone for the birthday wishes. I got a ton of cards. I got some presents. I got all kinds of tweets on Twitter. And I would mention several of them, because we're so cool, except that if I mention anybody or even any of the items, I will invariably piss off everybody that I don't mention. And then I'd have to be sitting here reading a list like we were doing the fucking Jerry Lewis telethon. So I will thank everybody that sent stuff. You know who you are, and I appreciate it. And there were several cool things. But I will say the Cult of Cornette Facebook group as a whole sent me a big box of Sprite Zero in cans. So that was cheers to you guys.